Good evening, everybody. How you doing? This is Vonda Evans. What's up? How you doing? Had to get right now. You know how that is. What's going on? How y'all doing? What's happening? What's going on? Gotta edit my privacy so my Facebook people can see me. Okay, we ready. What's going on, everybody? How you doing? Hey, what's going on? What's up? What's up? What's up, my people? How y'all doing today? Okay. Y'all know the score. Let me know where you from. You know what I'm saying? Who we got? Who was our first person? Let's see who that person's going to be. Okay. Let's see what's going on. Somebody jump in there a minute. Okay. Had to put my little thing down here for the Vonda's Law. Happy Mother's Day weekend from Brooklyn, from Stephanie Lynn. Thank you so much. Same thing to you. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Good evening, Angie in Brooklyn. Okay, Brooklyn is in the house. You in the house. What's going on? Let's see who else is coming in. I got a good topic today. Let me see who else is coming in. All right. Northern Lights. I hope you guys were able to see them. I missed it. Pamela Anderson. Happy Mother's Day. Oh, happy Mother's Day to you, lady. Okay. Yada Carol. Hello, sister. Happy Mommy's Day. Same to you too, baby. Carmen Evans, what's up? These my Detroit folks. My Michigans. Got my Michigans in the house. Okay. Let's see who else we got going on. Okay. I hope y'all are going to have a wonderful Mother's Day. May it be restful and very, very peaceful. That's what we need. Shanita Olson. Happy Mother's Day. Same to you, Queen. Same to you. Let's see who else we got here. Okay, Keisha Vale. Okay, what's going on, Keisha? All right. Happy Mother's Day to you as well. Pat Taylor, good evening. Auntie Hable, happy Mother's Day from Detroit. Okay, let's see who else we got coming in. Ernestine Lawrence, happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to you too, Queen. He's showing too many goodies now, but I'm feeling a little sexy tonight. Okay, let's see who else we got coming on. Okay. I got a little busier earlier today, so I didn't get a chance to do a little promo video. But it's all right, Listen, one thing's for sure and two things for certain. People will watch it. Ada Hardy, happy Mother's Day. Same to you, sweetie. Same to you, sweetie. Queens. Cora Burnett George from Guyana. Happy Mother's Day to you. Thank you so much, Queen. Thank you. I'm so honored. So honored. So honored. Christine Raphael Norris. R.A. Ruff, this is the judge I follow with good thoughts and messages. All right. Only good vibes. That's what we dealing with. You know what I'm saying? We just good vibes, and we just dealing with things that are positive, and that's just how we rolling up in here. We ain't dealing with no negativity, because it's my belief that we need positive affirmations, positive vibes. We got to get through this thing called life. And as you get older, you change up. Ada Hardy, good vibes, Queen. Same to you. You know what I'm saying? And as you mature, you can't He dealing with all of that negative and, he say, she say, and all. Oh, girl, okay, no, let me say this to you. The minute somebody start trying to talk about somebody, I'd be like, excuse me, I gotta go to the bathroom because I ain't got time to deal with that. All right, I'm not for that. All right, because one thing's for sure and two things for certain. You got to live your life right, because no matter what you sow, you reap. Whatever you put in that ground, you gonna reap it. And I'm trying to put good things in that ground and encourage others too, so that we can lead a full and abundant life. That's what this life is. That's what we're trying to do at this point. All of that messy jealousy, anger, envy. Oh, we're not trying to do that. So look, I'm gonna jump right into this. And as people come in, I'm gonna give you a shout out. For many day people, tomorrow is a wonderful day. People are at the mall buying gifts and having dinners, and churches, synagogues, and mosques are honoring moms tomorrow, and it is just like a full just day. It's experience, and it's so wonderful because moms do so much. A woman is closer to death than life during childbearing. What do you mean? If a body can deal with 12 points of pain, her body goes through 19 points. That's the closest a woman ever gets to death. So there is a bond that is with a mother and the child more often than not. Okay, now there may be some exceptions, because people dealing with some other stuff and, they having children, but they're not a mother. I'm talking about women. I'm talking about mothers. I'm talking about the women who have birthed children, who have been there for their kids to the best of their ability, and maybe from no fault of their own, their child's not with them due to death, suicide, gun violence. Maybe they're estranged from their children. They're living, but they don't have a relationship with them. And or you find yourself estranged from a parent. This is a hard day for people like that. You want to say, I want to be upbeat about it, but it brings so many memories. There are many people who, my social media family, that this will be their first Mother's Day without their child. And I don't know that feeling per se through death or incarceration or something like that. But I know that when you don't have your child in your life, it can be very challenging. And what happens is that you start to say, what could I have done different? What could I have done that could have made the situation different? And you ponder that. Maybe if I'd been a stay-at-home mom, maybe if I had bought my children certain things, you just think about, what could I have done to be a better mom? Let me say this to you and be 100. I got 2 kids and I have a manual with either one of them. And they are as different as night and day, and they got the same mama and the same daddy. Everybody is different. They're as unique as a snowflake. Some people are outgoing, some people are not. They're unique. We, as parents, many times, we growing with our kids. What do you mean? We having children when we don't need to be having children. And then all of a sudden, you got all of these, you got kids that you weren't really ready for emotionally, spiritually, financially. And you growing with them. And you making mistakes right along the way. You know what I'm saying? And, Maybe you was hanging out, or you was doing your thing and the kids was at your mama's or whatever. But whatever the reason may be, you did the best that you could with what you were dealing with at that time. That's just it. That's real life. Okay. Um, and then there comes a time when, you've poured into your children and you've sacrificed for them. And, you maybe didn't go to all the PTA meetings, but, you prayed for them, and you look up and that person is not in your life. Maybe they're in prison. Maybe they passed on. I remember when I was a judge, and for many of you who don't know, or I was a retired judge, I would see kids, okay, you know what I'm saying, because they would be the 18, who would talk about how they mama wasn't a good mama, and their mama breaking her butt to pay a lawyer to get them out on bond, and they want to blame them. Well, guess what? Everybody ain't perfect, but we got to be able to take responsibility. And a lot of times when children get older, they don't make the right decisions. When we grew up, what did they say? Do as I say, not as I do. We sit up around a grown folk, they drinking, they smoking cigarettes, they doing their thing. You go sit down somewhere and you don't even be trying to be like that, picking up no cigarette, no drink. We lived in a different era. And so now these children, many times, they doing their own thing. They out here in them streets. And once they get off that porch, and what I'm talking about, getting in that life and that world, they ain't coming back. And many times they make bad decisions. And you try to tell them about the decisions that they make. And, they keep making very, very bad decisions. And you keep trying to tell them and talk to them. And they're just not getting it. But they steadily got their hand out for you to do things for them. But they don't want to listen to your counsel. They don't want to listen to when you say, you know what, you need to, chill out with that girl because she ain't no good, or you need to chill out with your friends or whatever. They turn on you. Well, you don't understand me and you don't like me, and they want to be accepted so much by their friends that they begin to make very bad decisions. And many times they end up in court, or God forbid, they end up dead. And all of a sudden, as a mother, you're thinking, what could I have done differently? What would have made the difference? Maybe your child is not available to you because y'all done had a fallout. Maybe your child is not available to you because, they're suffering some physical or mental or psychological that they're strained from you. Let me tell you something about life. We all have a job. For 22 years, my job was to go to Frank Murphy. But every job has a beginning date and it has an ending date. You cannot go back and change none of that. You got to understand that God gave you an assignment. He says, I'm going to give you a responsibility, and it's called mother. And I want you to do the best that you can, because you don't get a manual with this. And you try. You make decisions or whatever, things happen. And what you got to realize is that it's time for you to live your life. It is time that you decide, I've done the best I can, and if my best isn't good enough, be a better person. But I'm at the last quarter. I got to live my life the best way I can. And I hope you've learned from me. Like I tell my children, Learn from me what not to do. Just learn. That's okay. If it was somewhere down the line that you didn't like things about me, learn from that and be a better person. But we all have a journey. And what we do is sometimes we get so intertwined with our children that we lose ourselves. We start taking care of ourselves. We put their needs above ours because maybe, we're at a point where we can do things more financially, and we give and give and give and give. And it's our fault for not having boundaries. But at some point in time, you got to say, time out. I got to live a life for me. See, we're not guaranteed to be 100. We're not even guaranteed to be 60. When your children are grown, you got to say, listen, I did the best I could. And if you don't feel that I'm as good as what you want, I'm sorry. But on this journey, I got to keep going. I remember parents who had lost their children, and they would come to court, and the children would, other children say, Mama just go to the graveyard every day. They're grieving so hard that they can't even care for the other children because they're just grieving for them. Every day you grieving. You miss them. You go into psychics, mediums, anybody to contact these children, and they just taking your money because they ain't happening. Because you were so intertwined because you're grieving. Everybody has a birth date and a death date. Your birth date and my death date is different. You got to be able to say, I got to live my life. I got to start doing things for me. I want to start traveling. I want to start doing things. But I got these grandkids. I got my children. It's time to start living your life. I know you miss them. And many times the greatest way to honor somebody is to say, Lord, I am so honored that you gave me the 10, 15, 20, 30 years. I'm so honored you gave it to me. I'm a better person because of that. But now I got to go on the rest of this journey with them hidden in my heart. But I got to keep going. This is a marathon. You cannot stop. You got to keep going. Is it hard? Yes. But know this. Children are on loan from us, from God. I don't care if you're a doctor, a lawyer, Indian chief. You ain't giving nobody life. You ain't breathing like, let me go wake up my kids. Baby, let me tell you something. You ain't waking them up. God waking them up. You got it twisted. God out there protecting them in them streets. God out there doing it. And you worrying, you can't eat, you can't sleep. Listen. You got to say, I love you. And you got to give them sometime the gift of goodbye. It's better for you to be alive and well if you have to assist them, but you got to let them grow up. So many times we say, well, I didn't have this, and I just want my kids to have it. And we give them too much. They was going to love us if they didn't have all that they got. They was going to love us no matter what. But we're the ones. Well, you're going to wear Prada, Gucci, Balenciaga. You're going to drive this. You're going to have diamonds. And many times, because they didn't earn, there's a sense of entitlement and expectation. And what do? We instill that in them. And then say, for instance, you get sick or you decide to retire and you can't give to them. Many times they'll get mad at you and fall out with you. I remember when my father died, it was a very challenging time for me. Although I have other siblings in North Carolina, I didn't have any here. And My mother, she bossed up on me. She said, listen, baby, I've done the best I can. Your father gone, but you're going to have to make it root little pig or die. However, you got to get out there. But mom, I'm going through a divorce. I don't mind watching the kids, but I ain't in around here to give you no money. I can't do that. So you're going to have to figure this out. You're going to have to figure this out for yourself. I thought that was the worst thing that she could do. I know you got it and you don't want to help me. How you going to do me like that? But I had to make decisions. I was bouncing checks, everything. I couldn't manage money. And after a while, I realized this is what I got, and I got to figure out how to live on it. Baby, let me tell you, I went and got me some stuff from the dollar store, laid my house out. Maybe it wasn't the kind of thing that I really would like to have, or maybe that I have now. But I had to live within my means. I told the children when they were young, listen, you got two choices. You can go to Toys R Us. I remember when they had that. But I got to cook. Or we can go out to eat in no Toys R Us, but we can't do both. Okay, we on a different budget now. I remember being a judge. And after I paid everything, had $400 a month to my name. Couldn't go nowhere. Couldn't do nothing. If I went out, somebody else had to spot me. Why? Because that's called growing up. And I was so angry. Like, you got it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it ain't like I'm just being trifling. I need help. But I had to figure that out for myself. And that was a gift that she gave me. And now, as a result of that gift that she gave me, it's made me a stronger and a better woman. Because, like the Bible say, you got to learn to be a base and be a bow. You got to learn to have it and be broke. And when you broke, you need to sit down. And when you got it, you need to act like you broke so you can keep it. That's how you can work it out. But you got to have boundaries. You've got to be able to say no. And you've got to be able to let them go. When birds in the trees, do you see them out there? Girl, let me go build your nest. And I'm going to lay it out. It's going to be killing them. And then you come back to the nest. They don't do that. They get them big enough. Because I know, because I got some birds up in my damn attic. They get them big enough, and they push their butt on out. Root little pig or die. Two things going to happen. They going to live or they going to die. But they're not going to coddle them. For those people that say, well, you know what? I can't tell you the countless times. I wish I told him, my son or my daughter, I said, come over. And they went out anyway and they got killed. What'd I tell you? Children are on loan to us. Everybody got a birth date and a death date. And what you got to learn to do is stop blaming you for what has occurred in your life in regard to your children. Because sometimes, you know what? God is saying, you did a good job. I'm proud of you. You got up late at night. You went down to Children's Hospital where they got the asthma. You know what I'm saying? You sacrificed and didn't get you things to make sure that they had things. And all your life you sacrificed. And I thank you for your service. You did a wonderful and phenomenal job. But they were only on loan to you for 35 years, 25 years, 19 years, 16 years. That was a loan agreement. You weren't there when I made it, but I'm God. I give life and I take life. And you're not God. All them times you done worried about your children, up all night, stomach bubbling, they good because they got angels dispatched protecting them. And you think that you got, if I hit, baby, you a human. You ain't got no super powers. But now that you are in a situation where you no longer have a relationship with them, they're dead, they're in jail, they're not with you. I want you to take that time to say, I got so much love. I got to give it to somebody else. And the person that you need to give it to is the man or woman in the mirror. You need to start giving it to you. You need to start giving it to you. The things that you thought about you wanted to do all your life, it's time for you to start living your life. It's time for you to start going places. I'm not saying that's going to fill a void, but be honored that you had that experience. It's not a day you go by that someone will say judge to me. I said I was gonna change my name to Judge. Okay, I'm for real. But that was a wonderful experience that I had, and I'll treasure it. But that experience is over. And now I'm in a new position, a new experience, and I'm ready for it. And all the things that happened on that bench, I take with me. I remember different cases and things that people said that made me a better person. So will you with your child. But at some point in time, you got to start loving you with that same love that you had for them. Let's be honest, ladies. Many of us just let ourselves go. We don't do our hair. We don't do our nails done. We don't exercise. We don't go on trips. And we constantly giving, and we're not doing nothing for ourselves no more. Because somehow we feel, well, if I give to them, that's going to make them better. It's going to make them more dependent. And it's time for you to have boundaries. It's time for you to say, you know what? I got to give to me. Well, damn, you selfish. You be going on them trips. Yeah. How much did that makeup cost? You paid that much. Yeah. You wearing good smelling cologne to go to bed? Yeah. You got to start loving you. That chapter of the book is closed. That chapter is now a new chapter. And the new chapter it's all about me. It's all about me. I can't change nothing. I can't. Hindsight is 2020. But from here now, I got to live my life. And I got to start enjoying my life. There's going to come a day, ladies, that we won't be able to do many of the things that we're doing now. I look on TikTok and different stuff. Baby, people leaving out of here early with cancer, okay? We got this much of a window that we will. And we worrying about people that's doing their own thing, okay? Or made decisions that maybe it caused them to be in prison or maybe no longer here. But you got this much time to start investing in you. I remember my grandfather, he had 9 girls and 1 boy. Until my granddaddy died, he wiped his butt with 1 piece of toilet paper because he sacrificed all his life. I'm not going to be like that. I'm not going to be like that. Because you know what? All he knew was to sacrifice. And then when he got older, he wanted to get some little young girl come over. You too old for that. But when I was sending you to college, sent every single one of them to college. And when he needed them, they weren't available and sent money, etc. You got to start living for you. And you're so afraid to do that. And you caught in a position You in between your future and your past, and you not moving. It's like me trying to get to 8 Mile on a treadmill. Where in the hell are you going on that? But it's become a part of your life. You know what I'm talking about. Hell, let me tell you something. As a judge, I'd have made a pizza last for 3 or 4 days, baby. Okay? Here goes a slice for 2. Here goes a salad. Listen, we know how to sacrifice. We know what to do. That's so easy. Okay? All right. When it get tight for me, I'll be like, oh, okay, I know what to do. Here go that pot. Let me go put my spaghetti on. You know that $10 spaghetti that you eat on all week long with that salad and that bread. Stop playing with them spaghetti sandwiches. Stop playing. It's time for us to live our life. It's time for you to say, Lord, I am honored that I have been given this greatest gift. But I got to live for me right now. Oh, you selfish. No, you're not. I can't tell you the number of people I look at on the social media. They on trips. The last trip I can say I went on is in 2017. Everything else, 2017. I'm gonna go. I can't do this. I can't. I'm getting older, and time is not my friend. It's my enemy. And I just be liking all them people's posts, and they on trips, and they on the cruises, and they on the ships, and they going to all of these beautiful, wonderful places. Maybe next year. I'm gonna go next year. I am, and next year never comes. Or maybe when next year comes, it's with a bad diagnosis. So instead of you being on a ship, you might be getting some dialysis or some chemotherapy. And God was like, I gave you that window. But you were so worried about doing something for somebody else that's grown, or trying to punish yourself for something that happened that you had no control over, that you did the best that you could, that you're punishing yourself. Whether you have a child that's alive and you giving them everything, or your child is no longer here, you're still punishing yourself. You're imposing sacrifice as a burden on you because of what you didn't do, wanted to do, should have done. It's time to let that go. You got to let that spirit go. You got to say, you know what? I got to release the spirit of sacrifice. I am so honored to have been and to be a mother. Baby, if you don't still got no child, listen, you still a mama. You going to be a mama till like that. Let me tell you something. I be like, and and I know y'all, I love you. Judge. I'm like, I ain't no damn judge no more. That's just what people gonna always call me. Mama, you gonna always be somebody's mom. You gonna always be the mom. I don't care if your child is not here. You a mom. You a mom. But you have to start living for you as a woman. You got to start doing the things that you dreamed of as a woman. You got to start buying the things that you want as a woman. It's your time and it's your season. And the only person that can give you permission is you. You got to stop punishing yourself. Tomorrow is going to be a challenging day for many people on here. But tomorrow, you know what I want you to do? Tomorrow, I want you to say, this is the first day that I'm going to start living for me. I'm going to do something nice for me. I don't know what it is, but something. I'm not going to lay in the bed. I ain't going to be sad. I ain't going to be crying. I'm not going to the graveyard. I'm not going to be looking at. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to honor you on my heart. And I know that they have given you permission to keep going. You got to go, mama. Keep going, mama. I'm good. Because the Bible said to be absent from the body is to be present with Christ. That I know. I'm good, mama. You always a mama, baby. Think back on those memories while you at the airport getting ready to board your plane to Paris. Damn, I sure miss them. Flight 356 is on its way. Honor yourself, but you got to get out of the place that you in, and that is this grief. Regina King said, "Grief is love that has nowhere to go." Baby, let me say this to you and keep it 100. It's so many people that need love in this world, but they ain't my child. They ain't biological. Baby, let me tell you something. When you give love, it don't matter. You can love an animal. You can love children. You can love, you got love. You got to give it away. You got to pull it down in you and give it away. And once you start giving away, whether they biologically related to you, whether you know them from your church, your synagogue, your mosque, whether it's somebody on the street, you got love you got to give away. And when you do, and you give that love away, you give yourself permission to start loving you again. You give yourself permission to say, it's my time, it's my season. And it's okay. It's okay because I've done what I can do. And I'm at peace with that. And you got to find peace with that. When the enemy steals our children or they're gone away or the Lord calls them home, whatever, all we want to do is say, if I just had another moment, another day, and we begin to get stuck. You got to honor the fact that you are allowed to be a parent. Your child could have been gone at 4 months old, 4 weeks old, 4 days old. Here you done had them 20, 30 years. You understand what I'm saying? You know, some of them may be incarcerated. Well, we going to do this time together. Oh, no, we not. Now, every time I told you not to be running with them people, you was out there in them streets doing your thing. Okay, and I told you. Now, you got to suck this one on up. But I'm about to go on some trips. And this is the deal. I'm going to put something on your books, $150 a month. But all of that calling, write letters, then it's more meaningful. You ain't put them there. They bad choices did. And it's time for you to start living for you. You have done all that you could do. And if you said, well, if woulda, shoulda, let me tell you something. That ain't going to change nothing. Tafaji said, lost my baby as months. It is well. That's what I'm saying. My son was 19 when he died. Miss Highly Favor said, shoot, I lost my baby at months. I didn't get a chance to see him go to preschool, to kindergarten, or to first grade, to 6th grade. I didn't see that. Middle school, high school. You got that. You were honored to have that. So don't let tomorrow be, well, I don't got no kids, baby. Let me tell you something. You got kids, boo. Let me tell you something. They in you. Like Miss Highly Favor, she got a baby. It's still in her, but they just an angel. Let me tell you something about life. Death. It's like water. You boil water long enough, it's going to change to a vapor, but it's still water. We don't lose people. They just become spirits. And we're all right. And they're falling asleep. And when God comes back, he's going, well, we okay. And you got to start living for you. Oh, but I didn't want to leave Frank Murphy. But when God said it's time, I had to go. You know? But I had to say, damn, this is another part of my journey. Wow. I ain't got to get up. And listen, if I get up whenever I want to get up, ain't nobody watching me or all that, whatever. It's time. And you have to make the best out of it. You've mourned enough. You've sacrificed enough. Now you, only you, can give yourself permission to lead your life. And I ain't talking about doing that reckless, like going out here hooking up with no little 22 years old, somebody you don't even know. You know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about that. Living blessed. I'm praying for the list on my son on Easter. He was murdered. God's getting me through the situation. He is safe in God's hand. Listen, living blessed. Let me ask you a question, and I want you to respond in the comments. When he was alive, it was sometimes nights, days you worried about them. Don't know where they are. Don't know what they're doing. Don't know how they're doing. Got knots in your stomach. Now you know one thing is for sure and two things for certain. They resting with the Lord. The Bible says to be absent from the body is to be present with Christ. And I believe that. And now you've got to give yourself permission to keep going. Because your son would have said, Mama, if you don't get your butt up. See, the enemy wants your love to be called grief. God said, I want your love to be called a memory. It's not what people call you, it's what you answer to. Because, honey, I've been called some choice names, okay? Some choice ones. It's what you answer to. I've been called judge, mother, wife, girlfriend, some other choice words. It's what I choose to answer to. Living blessed that, yes, Lord, he is. I'm a true believer. Yes, he will definitely want me to move on. But what did I say? The enemy wants you to call that love grief. God said it's a memory. It's not grief. And memories are like roses in the dead of winter. We can just pull them right out our mind. It's something I remember as a very, very young woman. I used to say, ask my father, why are you always thinking about back in 1948 or, like 1962 or 1975? You get to a point in life where your past becomes more familiar to you. You can think about something. Oh, listen. Okay, you ready? You ready? Okay. Anyway, let me tell you something. You ready? You ready about this? Listen, we be in the kitchen. Ooh, my kids know. She put on them jams, them dramatics. Baby, I'm gonna cook. I'm gonna cook for me about 4-5 hours. You remember back in the day we used to listen to Foodie? Baby, I done cooked so many dinners off Foodie, but let me tell you what I got now. I got Sonos. Baby, I put it on my station. Jam after jam. I could cook a whole Thanksgiving Mother's Day dinner. Just listen to my jam. Be like, oh, I remember this. I know the words. Be my girl. All that. I'll be like, girl, what you doing? Okay, Marvin Gaye, girl. And I'm just cooking and cleaning because your past becomes familiar to you again, and it's okay. You know what I'm saying? And that's that's fine. And so all I'm saying to you is this: it's time to give yourself permission to move forward. It's time. There's nothing that is going to change that situation. You got to keep going. Pat say it's the quiet storm, girl. Stop playing. Okay, I remember ironing my kids' clothes all week just so I could be listening to the quiet storm. Okay? But my point being to you, it's time to give yourself permission to do the things that you want to do. and to go and to see the things that you need to see. And stop grieving about things you can't change. You know, whatever the situation is, it's where you are. And it's time for you to start having boundaries. And it's time for you to say, this is what I'm going to do. I am going to allow myself 30 minutes a day. And I'm going to work it down where I'm going to think about them and more. And every day it needs to be less. So instead of mourning, you celebrating. When my father died, it was such a terrible time, but now I can remember the things that he would say, the jewels that he shared with me, that I've shared to people all over this world through social media and through being in my court. It don't hurt no more. What my boy Teddy Pendergrass say, it don't hurt now. No, not love. It don't hurt now. It doesn't mean that you love them less, but you made peace with pain. And it's time for you to start doing that. It's time for you to do the things that you want to do. Well, I don't need to get my nails done. Listen, get your nails done, get your feet done, get up, walk every day. You got to start living in the moment. You start, well, such and such need this, and I'm sorry. I don't got no more. I'm sorry. This is the order. God get his 10th. Bonda get her 90%, and I'm gonna be able to give you what I can. But I can't give you that 90. As my auntie used to say, I call about a problem. She said, baby, not now. My arms can't reach you. It wasn't that she didn't love me, but I can't hear no bad news. I can't receive that right now because I'm dealing with my own life. I can't receive that. Take it to God. Baby, don't call on no phone. Take it to the throne. God will work it out. God will work that out. Take it to the throne. It's time for you to have some peace in your life. You've done all you can do. And now, when you give yourself permission to go on, you'll find that life has a greater meaning. I remember people, oh my God. I remember people just saying for, my son's been gone for 5 years, and the pain that they carried. It's time to let that go. But that don't mean you love him. Because what you talking about, because you don't know how I love. Love doesn't cause pain. Real love sets you free. It doesn't cause pain. That's something that you are, the enemy calls it grief. God calls it memories. It's how you look at it. But you got to start doing something, because we got this big. Woman the other day, I'm on TikTok. She said she got a little lump on the back of her leg. Nothing big. Went to the doctor, it started growing. Carcinoma. 3 years she did. But I'm going to go on that trip next year. Well, you know what? Oh, look, they at the sunset, but I don't got no man, because baby, you don't need no man. What you need a man for? Girl, stop playing. You better go sit down somewhere, and you need to be me, myself, and I going on this trip. Okay? I can't wait. Okay? Me, myself, and I. Because God has now released you to live your life. And you hold on to something that's gone, whether it's gone in the natural, the mental, the spiritual. It's not gone. It's missing now. But you got a window of opportunity. And you can do two things. You can worry about what you don't change, or you can get your butt up and start living your life. And stop feeling so sorry for yourself. Well, I don't got my baby. What my girl up here say, my baby up here, what she say? Highly favored said, she said, I lost my baby in months. So don't tell me about you had your child till he was 20. I lost my baby in months. You had him 20 years old. You seen him go to high school, middle school. I lost my baby in months. That don't make me less than a mama. And you sitting up here crying about what you don't have. You better celebrate the fact that God allowed you to see that and keep it moving. Solo trip this week, praise God. That's what I'm talking about, Elizabeth Wright. You came in this world alone unless you're a twin. And if you is a twin, you're going to die in this world by yourself, okay? You got to give yourself permission. Baby, let me tell you something. Ooh, Elizabeth, am I lying? I swear I'm not lying. Ooh, I swear. Girl, I will be somewhere. I get to thinking about something. I see something that kind of remind me of something else. Girl, I'm on a whole different like hookup. I'm like, wow, like I really just want to burst out and just be like, girl, you remember this? Baby. And you enjoying it. Going to the theater, going to the art museum. I remember, oh my God, and I'm going back, I keep saying it. When I was in Rome, the man that worked there, he was a greeter. And he said that he worked there 17 years. I said, does it get old? He said, every day I see something different. It was so beautiful. But let me tell you what I've learned. I can walk my neighborhood and see something I ain't see the day before. Because God is taking the shackles off my eyes. He's freeing me up. He's letting me see. I didn't even know that was there. I've been down here because I'm always thinking about what I'm going to do for somebody or whatever, the case or whatever. Now when I walk, I cut my phone off. That's money I got to miss. I can't live for that phone. And what you start to do is life becomes better. But you're going to have to start to do this. And how do you do it? You're going to have to put a block on it. When the enemy want to bring up, well, this would have been Tommy's 30th birthday. Honor that day, keep it going, stick a pin in it. Don't give yourself permission to keep rehearsing that in your mind. Stick a pin in it. Keep it moving. Get your butt outside. Walk. The more that you get in fresh air, moving around, it's good. Your body releases endorphins and it's naturally relaxing you. You ain't got to go 10 miles. It's just relaxing you a little bit. Walking every day to get your mail. When you go to the grocery store, park the farthest where you can. Okay. Do that. Okay. And then what you got to do, like Elizabeth said, you got to go on these little sites and book you a trip for one of them little $399 dollars trip. They got them overseas, and get your butt a little carrier and keep it going. Well, what if something happens? Stop making excuses. But if I go over there, it could be, stop making excuses. Hell, you can get shot in your own damn driveway. You trying to make excuses about if you go over to some foreign place, something gonna happen. Girl, stop. So you just making excuses. It's time to live. Look, we at the point now. All you need, am I right, Elizabeth? All you need one of them little puller bags. Put you some jogging pants in there, some shorts, a dress, some sandals, and some gym shoes. You good. Keep it packed by your bed. Be on the line. Every 4 months, you get your $399 trip. $399 trip. And that's what you do. You look up, you look in 4 places. And all that sadness is replaced with new experiences. Girl, listen. Like what I'm talking about, I went to wrong. Okay. All right. And I'm doing that for somebody else. Okay. I gotta say, there was a young girl. It's called a go bag. That's what Andrea Perkins said. That's right. So listen, let me tell you, when I was in Rome, okay? She's 26. She's there 2 weeks by herself from Russia. I said, are you afraid? She said, no, it's beautiful. You why? Because she was secure with herself. Put her headphones on, having dinner by herself, doing her thing. Listen, enjoying it. Hey, how are you? Very good. I met people on a plane that met people on a plane, and now they travel to see them, and they met them on the plane. Baby, it's a whole nother world out here. And then you got to give yourself permission to see it, to experience it. You ain't got to, everything got to be no 5-star. Listen, all you got to do is be able to get ready to go somewhere and enjoy yourself. But you got to give yourself permission. So when you go into tomorrow, I want you to, you got to, work through it because, this is a new beginning, what we talking about. But we're going to get that go bag. We're going to get it. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get that go bag. And we're going to put some stuff in it. Every 2 weeks, you're going to buy a little outfit and you're going to put something in it. And you're going to put it right next to your bed. And if for those of you that don't have a passport, you're going to get you a passport. And you're going to give yourself permission to live life. And to see things that you only dreamed about. But it's time to do that. So tomorrow, remember, the enemy calls it grief. God calls it memories. But it's time for you to do these things. Because let me tell you something. In science, in physics, only one thing can only occupy a space and time. So if I put this on my hand, I can't put something else where this is. You got a choice. You can keep that grief riding you, or you can let it go and put a new memory here. You got to give yourself permission. But it's time to live. It's a whole big world. And I want you to understand that nothing happens by choice. Everything has a reason, a time, and a season for it coming together. Many of you, we know y'all done been on here. I know everybody damn near. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know me. But how ironic was it that we were able to share with one of our sisters, and I'm trying to find her because it'd be so much to be going on because I will talk about that she lost her child. And that now y'all saying, well, damn, if she lost her baby as a little baby, just think about all the years that I did have. And I'm sitting around here being all selfish and stuff, wishing that they would outlive me, but they didn't. She ain't never been on before, but God let her come on. Because what he did was, what I say? The enemy calls it grief. God calls it a memory. And you know what she said? She said, and I shared it with you. But she ain't no less than a mama than none of y'all. Because when you lose somebody, you lose them. You understand what I'm saying? And so nothing happens by choice. There's always a reason behind everything that happens. And we've got to be able to seize that moment and understand and start to learn from people. You know what I'm saying? I mean, another sister on here said, listen, Elizabeth said, it's time to be doing these trips by yourself. And here go thrift flip repeat. This is so timely. My son passed away 10 years ago. And I had been in a bad relationship for a long time. I've been taking steps to be good to myself. And what we do, let me tell you what we do. The grief Here go my baby right here. Is let's talk about it with Tafanzda. That's my baby right there. Thank you, sister. Thank you. I appreciate you for sharing your memory. Let me tell you something what happens. The enemy will ride us so bad that we will lose a child, a relationship, and we will enter into a relationship that is abusive. Why? Because we in so much pain that abuse seems normal. Abuse seems normal. You riding yourself. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Then all of a sudden you start getting attracted to somebody who treating you like nothing. You know what I'm saying? They see you grieving and they keep riding. And it feels normal. It just feels normal. Why? Because when you in pain, more pain don't hurt no more. If I took my finger and I pinched you right here, right? And I'm pinching you. It ain't gonna hurt if all of a sudden somebody stabbed me in my leg because I'm feeling pain. You got to give yourself permission to heal. One of the reasons I stopped dating is I was so, Stephanie said it, numb to it. This what I like. How you liking something that is destroying you because you don't believe you're worthy of love, self-love. I love myself. I buy myself diamonds and pearls. But you love yourself, but you attract men who are unavailable, who got multiple women, who mistreat you, who call you every name in the book except your first name. Because I'm you, petite. I like that rugged. Because all you're doing is inflicting pain because pain has become familiar. It's familiar. And so you seek it out. You don't seek healing. Oh, he ain't my type. He too fat. He too short. He too ugly. He got 2 teeth missing. Girl, you ain't trying to have no babies. You trying to get somebody to treat you. He ain't my type. Well, what's your type? Somebody that inflict pain on you because you numb to it. Because it don't hurt no more. The fact you were able to even see that it was an abusive relationship, physically, mentally, financially, that was God. Now you got to give yourself permission to heal. And I keep saying to God, listen, I'm getting off from this little relationship. I'm going to get back. It's been 7 years. God, I done healed up. He said, girl, stop. You've been in abusive relationships since you've been 16. Stopping at 55. So I tell you when you heal, but you're not healed yet. You done at least 40 years in abusive relationships. So you just sit down. You ain't ready. I'll let you know, but you ain't ready yet. And you become addicted to the pain. The only thing is different. They got different names, but the story is the same. When I learned and gave myself permission to heal, the men that I once attracted to do nothing for me. Something will pop in my mind or they'll text me. I'll be like, baby, I don't care if you had that good. It ain't worth my peace. You understand? I'm not trading that. You got to give yourself permission to heal. Pain is a drug. It's one that you become familiar with. And that's why it's so easy to lose a child or lose a relationship with a child and displace it with an unhealthy relationship with a man or a woman. It's very common because you're transferring pain. You're in toxic friendships. You're in toxic relationships. And you're transferring pain because pain has become familiar. And you got to give yourself permission to say, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to the grave site. I'm not going to think about, oh, they ain't calling me on Mother's Day. Baby, let me tell you something. I'm about to do me something, okay? It's trauma bonding. Exactly. Baby, listen, okay? Well, didn't nobody call me? I ain't getting no flowers. I ain't getting no candy. Buy them for your damn self, okay? Listen, buy them for your damn self. But it's time to move on. And it's time to heal. And it's time to give yourself permission to live again. Okay? I love you guys. And have a happy Mother's Day. And like I said, we're not doing this. We wrapping this on up. We wrapping this up. And we giving ourselves permission to move on. That doesn't mean that you didn't love them or that you don't love them. It's time for you to heal. And you need the time that you are spending in agony over the loss of a child physically, mentally, or psychologically. You got to give yourself time and permission to heal. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. And listen, whether you got a child or you got a good relationship or your child's gone on to be with the Lord or incarcerated, you still a mama. So listen, like I'm still a judge, I guess. Love y'all. Bye-bye.